Price stability, the cornerstone of lasting prosperity. Without stable prices, there can be no real wealth, said Turkey's Treasury and Finance Minister Mehmet Simsek, highlighting the vital link between disinflation and long-term prosperity. According to Simsek, permanent improvements in citizens' well-being hinge on restoring price stability, which remains the foundation for sustainable economic growth. He emphasized that the government's economic agenda is designed not just to spur growth, but also to reduce poverty and create a fairer distribution of income across society. Answering questions in Parliament about government policy, Simsek stressed that recent reforms are carefully crafted to ensure that all segments of the population benefit from economic expansion. He added that maintaining price stability is essential for achieving enduring prosperity that is both inclusive and resilient. Macroeconomic gains and policy impact. According to Turkey Daily, Simsek explained that the government's medium-term program has played a critical role in promoting balanced growth and strengthening financial conditions across the country. Thanks to the program, economic growth has become more evenly distributed. The current account deficit has fallen significantly. Risk premiums have declined, foreign investment has surged, and reserves have increased, he said. These achievements have reinforced macro-financial stability and initiated a steady process of disinflation. Turkey's economy recorded a 2% year-on-year growth in the first quarter of 2025, slowing from 3% in the previous quarter. This deceleration reflects the effects of monetary tightening, as the central bank has maintained policy rates above 40% since late 2023, putting pressure on business activity. Shifts in economic indicators. The country's current account deficit narrowed sharply from $39.87 billion in 2023 to $10.19 billion in 2024, according to Turkish central bank data. However, the deficit widened again to $23.09 billion in the first half of 2025, with an annualized figure of $18.92 billion as of June. Meanwhile, investor confidence improved, reflected in the 5-year credit default swap (CDS) premium, which fell to 264.92 from a peak of 882.20 in July 2022. Foreign acquisition of Turkish financial assets jumped dramatically, reaching $9.5 billion in 2024, compared to just $1.81 billion in 2023. International reserves also surged to a record $174.4 billion by August 8, underscoring the country's strengthened financial position. Annual inflation in Turkey fell to 33.5% in July 2025, the lowest since November 2021, marking 13 consecutive income protection amid inflation pressures. Simsek highlighted the government's commitment to protecting household incomes while tackling inflation. In our fight against inflation, we have prioritized safeguarding the purchasing power and welfare of citizens, he stated. This included raising salaries and pensions above the prevailing inflation rate. For instance, the minimum wage was increased by 49% to $17,002, for 2024, surpassing the 25.64% inflation recorded since the last adjustment in the first half of 2023. However, the government discontinued semi-annual adjustments, returning to annual revisions in 2024. In 2025, the minimum wage rose by 30% to $22,104, $540, falling short of the annual inflation rate of 44.38%. Additionally, the Turkish lira depreciated by 19% since the beginning of the year, according to official figures. Simsek urged citizens to take a long-term perspective when evaluating improvements in the financial well-being of minimum wage earners and retirees. Between December 2002 and July 2025, the lowest monthly pension increased by 621% in real terms, he explained. This growth has consistently outpaced inflation, helping retirees maintain their purchasing power despite economic challenges. So what do you think? Could Turkey's focus on price stability truly create lasting prosperity for all? Or do these measures risk leaving some citizens behind? Share your thoughts below. This is the part most people miss when discussing economic growth and fairness.